Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to week two, Fancy Dads podcast. A lot of stuff to talk about this week. I wanted to start off. Yo, everybody, say hi.
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going, guys?
Okay, so before we start talking about all the shit that we're gonna talk about, I just want to start off by saying we had some drama shit going on this last week with one of our fellow dads in the fucking chats, and like this group is, I'm not trying to have any kind of drama. I don't need that shit in my life. We're all adults here, and I have absolutely zero tolerance for it. So going forward, if you're upset about something or you want to bitch about something, you need to come to me or one of the other moderators and in private and DM us and say, hey, like, I don't understand this. Why is this set up this way this week? Like, what's going on? And then maybe we can, have a conversation with you and not cause a fucking argument in the comment section because you're upset about something. So I just want to get that out of the way, and just be like very blunt, going forward. That's like I was saying, zero tolerance for it. So crazy week, week two. I felt like week two, it wasn't as shocking as week one. I think week one was a little bit surprising in how some of the teams performed and other team and specific players. But we'll get into that. So we're going to start this off with winners and losers. So I guess me and Timmy are going to be doing winners and losers this week. Do you want to go first, Timmy, or you want me to go? Timmy, you're muted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll kick it off. Okay, so the winners for me this week are, I know I'm biased. I am biased, but you can't say that they don't pass the eye test, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. Their defense, not the Kansas City Chiefs offense. The offense is struggling right now, but their defense is fucking legit. It's surprisingly good. They held, so they've had 2 games now. First week, say what you want about the offense, it's kind of sputtering right now. They're having some growing pains with a lot of these the rookies that they brought in, and just their receiving core is young as hell. So they're sputtering there, but their defense has won them their last 2 games. They held the Lions, which was a top 4 offense last year, to 2 touchdowns. They technically had 3 scores last week, week one, the Lions did, but if you remove one of those, which was a defensive pick 6, their offense, they held their offense, the Chiefs defense held their offense to 2 scores. And that's against the Lions, which, like I was saying, last year was one of the top offenses. I think it was the number 4 offense in the league last year. This year, or week 2, they held the Jaguars to 3 field goals. 3. The list
against an offense like that, that's pretty good.
Against an offense like that, and listen to some of these stats. So they've allowed 2 TDs over their last 2 games. So I guess Timmy is having some technical difficulties. He'll be back. So the Jaguars in week 1 against the Colts scored 31 points. Week 2, they score 9, 3 field goals. They were in the end zone they were in the red zone 4 times. Trevor Lawrence went 0 for 7 passing in the red zone, which is the most red zone attempts without a completion since Brett Favre in 2006. And this is Trevor Lawrence, 0 for 7 attempts in the red zone. This has not happened since 2006. That many attempts, failed attempts. The Chiefs held them to a field goal on a 1st and 1. A 1st and big. 1 on the 1-yard line. They held them to a field goal. I mean,
it's big. Yeah,
and,
it's
big. And here's the other thing that I want to mention. And this was a team that scored 31 points in week 1 against the Colts. it's not like they don't have a good offense. They've got goddamn Travis Etienne.
Look at the difference in the
Christian
defenses,
Kirk
though.
and Ridley.
Yeah.
Well, but what I'm saying is it's not like they're playing against a dinky offense. Specifically, this winner for me is the Chiefs defense. Their defense, I would argue, now that the Jets are struggling, clearly struggling and kind of, fucking coming loose at the seams, I would argue that they have the best defense in the AFC right now.
Jets coming loose at the seams.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense is not playing at all like people were expecting them to. But and their quarterback. But I mean, I at this point, I think that they are a top 5 defense in the NFL right now. I think they are the top defense in the AFC. They've held 2 of the best, arguably the best offenses in the league to 2 touchdowns in 2 games. That is incredible. And they don't even have a Menahue back because he is out until week 7. He can't come back and play until week 7. So they do not have Charles Omenihu. Imagine once they're this good without Charles Omenihu. Imagine once they fucking get Charles Omenihu back in week 7. That they're going to be a disgusting defense. And my whole thing is we have not seen a Mahomes play with a defense that is even top. I think last year they were 16th. Yeah. Last year was the first year that he played with a top 20 defense since he has been a starter. They arguably could have a top 5 defense this year.
Yeah. And I was going to comment on that. I mean, and I got to tell you, I think I do agree with you, Dylan, that, you picked a good winner this week with the Chiefs defense. And, I guess, yeah, I'm biased too, right? Just because I am a Chiefs fan. But last year, the defense was atrocious. It wasn't top 6. I mean, even top 16th or whatever. I mean, they just weren't really all there. And the fact that this year they're on fire this year. And unfortunately, we've got the offensive issues, and hopefully that they can fix those issues. But yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. These first 2 weeks of the season so far, the Chiefs defense has really, really stepped up the game.
I think that it's surprising everybody. I think they are way better than people were expecting.
Do you think that there was a big shift in morale whenever Jones came back, when Chris Jones finally signed that contract and came back and actually finally played?
Oh, I mean, 100%. But we like we talked about last week after that loss, I literally said they'll have his ass signed by the end of the fucking week. That there was no way they would not have him signed. Lo and behold, they've got a deal.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a week. It was like 4 days later they had a deal. They by Monday they had a deal, or Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, it was Monday or Tuesday they had that deal. So, score 1 for Dylan predicting the future. Yeah. So what do you think, Timmy? What do you think about Chiefs defense? They impressing you? I know you're a hardcore Chiefs fan.
I'm not going to jump on that wagon.
It's always 3 points, Timmy. You always lose by 3 points.
Hey, I mean the Broncos, they only allowed Washington to score 34 points this week.
37.
Yeah,
30
by 20.
Yeah. It's hey, look, I'm just saying, man.
But
of course, I mean, I'm happy only, I love football in general, right? But all of my wife's family is all Broncos fans. So, me being a Chiefs fan, it's a good rivalry anyways. And so ever since the whole Peyton Manning era, I've been just rolling in the gold essentially over here every week. So I can't complain.
Okay. So
I feel like at this point we could lose to a high school team.
Yeah, it's crazy. But okay, I'm going to get into my losers now real quick here. Losers, and I may be biased, but the Cincinnati Bengals are the losers this week for me.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
What in the fuck is going on right now in Cincinnati? Yeah. So let's talk about this. So, one, Burrow, they put Burrow in when they did not need to. Arguably, they were playing against teams. Well, especially the Browns. They were 0-4, I think, against the Browns prior to this. They had not been able to beat the Browns. So, like, people talk about, like, certain teams are other teams' kryptonite. Like, Joe Burrow was beating Mahomes. Mahomes could not beat Burrow. The Browns are Cincinnati's kryptonite. They are 0-4 against the Browns. So, they're arguably did not technically they had a chance of probably losing the game. They've historically not been good against the Browns. They play Joe Burrow, and he looks like dog shit. We all talked about that. Let me pull up the stats here really quick. I had them pulled up.
I'm looking at them right now. They're atrocious.
Absolutely dog shit. So,
like Jamar Chase, right? Like you're talking, one of the top. They're by far their best wide receiver in Jamar Chase. Only gets 39 yards in an entire game.
So
come on, man.
Yeah, so 39 yards, 5 receptions for 39 yards in week 2, or in week 1. In week 2, 31 yards on 5 receptions. Absolutely dog shit. This is a person that most of us in our leagues, he went top 4 at the latest, top 5 at the latest. He was typically Jamar Chase. He was going top at minimum top 5. Most leagues he was going top 2 or top 3 in a lot of leagues. He was going right after Justin Jefferson. So this is a dude that is scoring you less than 10 fantasy points in the last 2 weeks. Absolutely falling apart at the seams. So that's Jamar Chase. Now let's look at Joe Burrow. Their
top receiver is T. Higgins on the season, 89 yards.
It's insane. Insane.
Yeah, it's not good.
Joe Burrow right now, in week 1 had a 45% completion. This last week he had a 65% completion for only 222 yards. He threw an interception. I mean, they have 300 yards on 2 games against the fucking Browns and the Ravens. I mean, this is embarrassing. Now the Browns defense, it does look good. The Browns defense does look good. So
I don't know. I'm not a big Ravens fan. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, the Ravens are not a horrible team.
No, they're not bad teams. They both have good defenses.
Lamar Jackson's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
I think his head's a little too big for whatever, but he's a pretty good quarterback. You got OBJ, right?
Who's hurt?
Well, but still, I mean, you've got some really good depth, right, with the Ravens.
I agree too, but we're talking about like defense right now. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals offense struggling severely. Joe Burrow is clearly hurt, and so a lot of times whenever we talk about Achilles injuries, they say that a calf sprain is like the canary in the coal mine. It's not an indicator that you're 100% going to have an Achilles injury, but it's definitely typically a precursor to an Achilles injury is having some kind of calf sprain. Look what happened with Aaron Rodgers. Calf sprain in the preseason, preseason in training. Look what happens. First fucking game, Achilles snaps. Joe Burrow, calf strain in the preseason, doesn't play the preseason because of the calf strain. Look, now he's re-aggravated it again. We're 2 weeks in, he's going to be out for arguably multiple weeks. I think they have literally completely at this point. I think there's no fucking way they're making the playoffs. They've already lost to two divisional rivals now. They're 0-2 in their own division, so they're already 0-2. Joe Burrow is going to arguably, at minimum, miss this coming week, and I would say they'll keep him out for at least 2 weeks at minimum, because now he's re-aggravated again. We don't want this to be you're just re-aggravating. My opinion, they rushed him out too soon. He wasn't 100%. Clearly wasn't 100%, and now he's re-aggravated this, and they have completely screwed their season. And arguably, this was, in my opinion, their best chance to go. They are going to be the best version of themselves for at least the next few years this year, because whose rookie contracts are up? T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, their contracts are up. Their rookie contracts. So they have to keep one of them. Who the hell do you think they're going to keep?
No.
Oh, and Joe Mixon. All 3 of those guys, rookie contracts are up at the end of this year. So
I'd know who it ain't gonna be.
Well, they're gonna keep Jamar. They're gonna keep Jamar, and they're gonna keep they've already signed Joe Burrow. So T. Higgins is gone, and Joe Mixon is going to be gone. They can't afford him.
Mhm.
They can only afford one. Well, maybe they can afford to keep Joe Mixon, but T. Higgins is gone. So,
Right.
Here's my prediction on that, though. I think Burrow is going to take a restructure next year to keep all of them. They got him that big money.
I was just gonna ask, do you think he's the one that do that, or do you think that
Yeah.
collective, any form of that collective, all says, let's do this together?
Part of me says that's what he's going to do. That's why they signed him this year. Get him that big first chunk, 34 million, whatever it is.
Okay.
Get that big signing bonus next year. Take that restructure. Give all those guys that cap space. Backload his contract.
Right.
Whatever it is, 7. I don't know how long it is, but
it's only a 4-year contract.
okay. And then backload it, and then when the 4 years comes up, that's when he's going to make him that high money, and then redo it.
I mean,
Restructure.
I think it's possible, but highly unlikely because of how much they're going to have to pay Jamar Chase. Top wide receivers like that right now going rate around 30 mil a year. Because I think most people would, prior to these last 2 weeks, would have said Jamar Chase is with Joe Burrow is arguably better than Hill because of the situation where Joe Burrow's constantly feeding him the ball, whereas Hill has to compete with Waddle. So that's why Jamar Chase was going before Hill. Now, Hill is just a fucking unbelievable, I fucking love Hill, but so I would say that I don't necessarily think that even if they restructured it, like, I think they'll be able to, that's why I was saying they can only keep one of those two. There's no way they're going to be able to keep Mixon and in my opinion, keep Mixon and Higgins.
Well, the way running back contracts are going, he's only going to be making $18 an hour anyway.
Yeah, that's right. They'll pay him in Trident layers or something like that.
Exactly. He's going to get like free soda.
Yeah. Okay. Well, those are my winners and losers. Your turn, Timmy.
My winner, Pittsburgh's defense. That's who I'm going with.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Pittsburgh's defense. Literally the winner because they won the game for him. Kenny Pickett's terrible. This Steelers team reminds me of the Broncos' last Super Bowl win when it was the defense that won it for him. It's kind of, I got that same vibe out of him where TJ Watt's going to be your Von Miller from that season, and he's just going to control the entire game.
Oh, TJ Watt is a fucking hoss, bro.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny Pickett's not going to be able to do shit. I mean, he's going to throw at least a pick or two a game. He's good for that. And I think with Watt getting double-digit quarterback hurries, every game, he's just a menace. The dude's already 4 sacks in the 2 games. So touchdown yesterday. That's my pick. At this point, I would pick Dallas, but it's pretty obvious how good Dallas is right now. Dallas's offense is also a joke.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, a weird dynamic where you've got the Chiefs' offense is struggling, the Dallas offense is struggling, but both of those teams are winning games because their defenses are so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's my winner for this week, though. I didn't see anybody else that really stood out besides obviously Dallas.
Yeah. So who's your loser? Who's your loser for the week?
I'm going with my homeboys. I'm going with the Broncos.
Oh, there we go. That's a biased opinion.
An absolute joke. Like I love the Broncos. Been a fan for 36 years, but god damn, man.
Like, and I gotta agree. And I have to agree. And again, like we talked about earlier, joking around, like, I mean, I'm a Chiefs fan, right? And like, I've been with my wife now for 12 years and watching the Broncos with them. And it always comes down to the defense can't stop. The offense can bust their ass, do whatever they can, right? Make these miraculous plays, no matter what it is, right? They can find a way to score, but then the defense always gives up those points. And it's always 3 points. It's 3 points. It's not even like a blowout. Like they're losing by one score every game. They lose by one score, and it's so frustrating to watch because it's like, come on, guys.
I know. Last year,
they have the talent all over that roster to win more than what they've done, especially since they brought Russ over. Like you have a top 10 quarterback, perennial quarterback at that. Supposedly, correct. You brought him in to win all these games and pretty much do another Peyton Manning tour.
Yeah, but you didn't spend any money on the offensive line.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Last game, Russ had over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. You can't blame it on the guy anymore. He's got 5 touchdowns and a pick this year. That's it.
All right.
1 pick. Our top receiver is Marvin Mims Jr., dude. He's, what was he 7th round pick?
Yeah, what's crazy? So the whole thing going on right now with the Broncos is Russell Wilson is not playing bad. Like you were just saying, his stats so far, he has almost 500 yards. It's 485 yards on this over the last 2 games. Like you said, he had a over 300 yard game, 3 TDs, 2 TDs the first week, 3 TDs the second week. His passer rating. Week 1, 108, passer rating. Week 2, 107. That beats Joe Burrow. That beats fucking, I think Josh Allen's was higher this week 2, but week 1, absolutely atrocious. Beats the hell out of a lot of the league, and 5 TDs. I think that's one of the highest in the league right now. I think there's only a few other quarterbacks with more TDs in their first 2 games. And so it's like Russell Wilson is actually arguably not the problem right now, other than in making bad decisions that have cost them the game barely. And I would say the biggest like thing about it is Sean Payton. He blamed it all on the coaching. He said how horrible the coaching was, and so he's got to throw someone under the bus if this thing goes south. If Russell Wilson's playing good, but they're still losing games, that indicates bad coaching, and he doesn't want that. So you see Sean Payton making these comments about, we might have to go to the wrist or the putting it on the band, like having the play calls on Russell Wilson's band. So like instead of it just calling it because he knows them, having to do band calling. And like clear jab at Russell Wilson. You've got the Peyton saying this kind of shit, but you've got the juxtaposition where Russell Wilson actually isn't playing that bad. He's just making some mistakes as he goes, and it's just costing them these games barely. So is it really the coaching or is it Russell Wilson? Because I feel like it's more so the coaching right now than Russell Wilson, just based on stats.
And I will give Russell Wilson the benefit of the doubt. I think he is a good quarterback. I think he still has some life in him. But the Broncos have been known to pick up, and I don't like using the word, but I can't figure out another word to use, but has been quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, and it's like they just pick up these quarterbacks that are they're just, what are you doing, guys? You guys are trading off draft picks. You guys are trading off possible good players for these quarterbacks that are just, what are you doing? I mean, Joe Flacco was a complete bust.
We pissed away so many first-round picks to get Russell Wilson. And again, he's probably not the issue, but he's not worth that many picks. Yeah. Our biggest issue, we brought back Vance Joseph, who is arguably one of the Broncos' worst head coaches of all time, to coach our defense again. Okay, granted, he had a good couple years here and there.
Yeah.
Coaching defenses. Our defense is a joke. We're single-digit quarterback pressures every game. We have 4 sacks on the year. In 2 games, 4 sacks. How many interceptions? Like 1? 1 pick this year? Like, come on. Yeah, 1 interception, 1 fumble, 4 sacks, 2 games. Mm-hmm. It's a joke.
Yeah, so he's got $161 million guaranteed on his contract, and it's not even kicking in until this next year. All that guaranteed money doesn't kick in until next year. So they are literally fucked until I think 2028. They are fucked. They are keeping Russell Wilson. And if you've got this thing where it's a battle between Russell Wilson and Sean Payton for who is causing these problems, Sean Payton's going to win. He's not going to, because he can't bench himself. What's he going to do? Fucking bench himself?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the savior coming in.
Yeah.
And he's going to use Russell Wilson as a scapegoat if things go south. It's you already see it starting to happen. I just wanted to throw this in here. So Todd is saying that whatever the stats are, it doesn't matter. He just looks bad. And I would actually agree with that. Like so it's hilarious. He makes this incredible Hail Mary pass at the end of the game. Like, how improbable was that shit? You don't see those very often. Like 1 out of 100 attempts, that shit happens. And incredible Hail Mary pass. And then you've got, I think it was Jerry Jeudy, wide fucking open, running to the end of the corner of the end zone. And he, instead of just waiting an extra 2 seconds and throwing the ball to him, he was going to be wide fucking open on the crosser. He throws it. He panics, rushes, and throws it to, I can't remember who the fuck he threw it to. Was it Johnson or somebody? Yeah. And he doesn't catch the ball. Who's being covered properly. So it's like, if he had just waited 2 seconds, you just had this incredible Hail Mary play, very improbable, and then 5 seconds later, you take a shit on that, and you don't just wait 2 more seconds to let Jerry Jeudy get open in his route and throw him the ball. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what though, but one of the biggest things though is it's still a long season, right? Like it's only week 2, right? I mean, there's still so much that could happen. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are doing better than I was expecting them to do, and there's a lot of teams that are doing a lot worse than what I was expecting to see out of them.
I agree, 100%.
And I'd like to I want to see where this goes. Like I had my own personal predictions inside my head. Because obviously I'm not very good about making predictions. Hashtag Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see where it goes. I think that there's going to be a lot of surprises as we get later in the season. And I think it's going to become more of a defensive battle, right? Like who's going to give up the most yards? Who's going to give up the most touchdowns? Extra or the 3-point field goals, that kind of stuff. Like. It's going to be surprising this year, I think. I think we're going to see some big upsets throughout the year.
I mean, I think we're already kind of starting to see them. So I think it's time to move on. We're going to go to Timmy's Big D.
Finally.
Jesus. I want to hear about it. Timmy, who's your Big D?
Should I show you guys now?
Don't tease me with a good time.
I mentioned it earlier. My Big D so far this year it's Dallas.
Oh, they're so good.
10 sacks, 5+ picks this year.
Disgusting.
It's hard to not pick them.
God.
They're ridiculous.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I think they got something special going on there. Their offense is awful, but I think they're really Micah Parsons killing it. 3 sacks already this year.
Micah Parsons for MVP.
He's a stud.
If they did voting tomorrow, he would get my vote.
He would absolutely be MVP.
He would get my vote. He would be MVP.
Stephon Gilmore, also a stud at corner. Always has been. I don't see that guy going anywhere. He's 1 pick, 3 passes defended this year. He's a stud. I figured Trayvon Diggs would do a little more, but he's kind of fallen off the map after his first year. But he's still young.
And he is so dependent on intercepting the ball. He gives up a lot of big plays just as much as he makes the big plays. He
tries to jump a lot of routes, and a lot of times it burns him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's my Big D this year, or this week. They're going to be, that was my pick last week. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I was at a work event in Tennessee. But Dallas, first 2 weeks, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about it?
I fucking 100% agree.
Or not? hard not to.
It's the stats speak for themselves. The eye test, everything. They look like goddamn. They look like they're playing when their defense gets out there. It literally looks like they're playing like Pee Wee League with like a bunch of Pee Wee League. Like the other teams now given, they've only played the goddamn Jets and with Wilson who's and Giants, so that there is a caveat to that. It's not like they've played any elite offenses, and so that's my whole thing on it. Is their defense looks hella good. I want to see them play a good offense. Once they play a good offense, and if their defense can perform at the level they've been playing now, it's hard to say that they aren't going to potentially go all the way. I mean, I predict them potentially going to the Super Bowl.
Unfortunately, we're not going to see them play somebody tough until week 5 at San Francisco.
Yeah.
They got Arizona and New England next. Arizona is poor.
Yeah, but if we can walk into week 5 with a 4-0 record and hold on to a little bit of whatever we can, I know the NFC East isn't the strongest either, so we've got a pretty easy shot of making the playoffs as it is. We've really only got to deal with Philadelphia there.
Yeah.
I
think it's going to be a walk in the park until week 5, and we'll see what happens with the 49ers up until then.
Right.
Brock Purdy's still looking like Brock Purdy, so it's going to be hard to doubt that kid for right now.
Yeah, so our next segment, Robert's beating off. Let's hear it.
That's the name we went with.
Robert,
the name.
It's Robert's beating off.
Okay.
Who's the offense? Let's hear it.
My offense for that I'm gonna pick for the week. They played shitty last week. I feel like they have completely righted the ship. Well, not completely. I can't say completely, but they took a hell of a step forward. The Buffalo Bills, and kind of the same thing we were just talking with Dallas's defense. They played the Oakland Raiders. It's not the strongest team to base this off of, but there was, 450 total yards of offense, 450 yards of total offense. Josh Allen threw for 274 yards and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions this week, compared to 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions last week.
So he didn't do. Josh Allen didn't do it. Josh Allen this week.
Pretty much. Gabe Davis did Gabe Davis things and had 100 yards or just shy of 100 yards receiving and a touchdown.
And he just sat on every one of my benches. Just riding.
I feel like everybody does that with Gabe. He is the biggest point chaser anybody's gonna play fantasy wise. Khalil Shakir, Dawson Knox also had passing touchdowns. Latavius Murray got into the end zone, and Damian Harris. It was just an all-around much better week for that offense. The defense played lights out as well, but I'm not here to talk about the offenses or the defenses. I'm here for beating off.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh God! If we were on Twitch, someone should clip that.
I gotta say, I'm still a little pissed off that Latavius Murray left Denver, but that's for a different subject, different time.
And I'm not going to. My whole thing, week 2, their offense did look a lot better than week 1, but at the same time, I don't trust Josh Allen. Like the dude is at this point, I think he's got the most turnovers of any QB in the last since 2018 or whenever he entered the league, 2019. He has the most turnovers of anyone else. So I mean, the dude's I don't trust him that he's just gonna keep playing good. They look good week 2, but at the same time, I don't trust Josh Allen. I feel like he's going to turn back into the turnover king that he is. I think he's one of the most overrated players in the league.
Hey,
I love
don't
him.
pull my Wyoming boy that hard. Come on
Yeah,
now.
I mean, he didn't deserve to be on the cover of Madden.
Fuck
I
no.
don't get that whole
And
thing. But
that's
hey,
just
What'd he
that's
do?
a topic for another
He
day.
turned the ball over, what, like 18 times last year, 17 times, something insane. Led the league in turnovers, I'm pretty sure. It was either him or Dak, one of the two.
I'm pretty sure that was
No,
Dak.
it's Dak, yeah, but barely.
Real sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Dak.
Yeah, I think it was Dak, but
Dak had like 19 turnovers.
yeah, I'd have to look it up. Let me look here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, well, I think that we can move on to Pacheco's 1,800-yard season. Let's hear how that is going.
Hey, look, it's going great.
Great as in like you're gonna have to eat this great.
Hey,
there it is.
We got more yards this week than we did last week. Okay.
Yeah, which is...
Has he hit triple digits yet?
No,
no. We're at
not even close.
We're at 93 total yards.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? So 70 rushing yards last week. He actually did quite good, right? Like, I mean, he really did help the Chiefs win, but obviously to make 1,800, I need him to do like 200 yards a game. But 70 rushing yards, the thing that's killing me right now is the fact that both week 1 and week 2, he had one attempt at a catch, one reception for 0 yards in total. The dude has yet to catch a ball.
And
can I chime in with the Chiefs real quick?
Okay, let's hear it.
How do you guys have 0 interceptions through 2 games?
Because we're amazing.
No,
I'm kidding.
No, we do have an interception, a pick 6 in week 1.
0.
That stat's wrong then, because there was a pick 6 in week 1. Patrick threw it to Tony. It went through his hands and I don't know how that must be wrong, but they didn't have. I don't think they had any interceptions week 2 that I can remember off the top of my head. He may have. Yeah.
Yeah, ESPN's got your defense with 0.
Oh no, our defense. You're talking about our defense has no interceptions.
Okay.
Hey, we don't need to throw an interception because we're 3 and out every go. We don't even give them enough time to drive down the field to give us enough opportunity to intercept the ball.
When do we play yes?
But no, I mean,
you guys got Denver week 6. He's gonna make up half his yards that game, so you'll be fine.
I think he's going to make up a lot of his yards this coming week.
Oh, dude! Like if you look at the Chiefs' schedule for like the next 4 to 5 games, it's stupid, stupid easy. Hold on, let me look this up real quick.
So, Chicago, New York, Minnesota, Denver, the Rams or the Chargers, Denver again.
Pacheco this coming week, I put $20 on it. He's gonna have at minimum 100 yards this coming week against the fucking Bears.
Right? But that's the thing, right? With Pacheco is I feel like he's still having a battle for that RB1 position. He's not, they really can't decide on who they want for that RB1. They just keep switching in and out, and it's like if he could get that RB1, I think he honestly could have a chance of. Obviously, 1,800 is obviously going to happen this year. Even if I have to flub the numbers, I'll make 1,800 happen. But he has way better of a shot. The problem is though, like they put him in for 1 down, he runs 5 yards, they take him out for two series. And they put him in for 2 or 3 plays, they take him out for another series. And that's part of the issue is they're not playing him consistently. That man runs with some freaking heart, dude. That dude just runs.
I think he's RB1, but he's underutilized. That's the problem. Andy Reid is a passing coach at this point. He is a heavy passing off.
Can you blame Andy?
Yep.
Look, you got Mahomes, you got Kelsey, you got Valdez Scantling Jr. Look at your core. You got obviously they're not performing well, but look at who you got. Why would you
got Patrick Mahomes is the whole thing, and you've got a passing coach and arguably the baby goat right now. So Pacheco is getting, afterthought, but I think there's going to be a lot with how the offense is kind of sputtering right now. I think it's surprised a lot of people, especially Chiefs fans. I know myself included. I sit there and I watch these people like, you know, can't convert on a fucking third down to save their life. I mean, it's pathetic. It's absolutely fucking pathetic. I mean, even like 4th and 1, they're punting the ball away because instead of going for it, it's like you've got Pacheco, let Pacheco run the fucking ball. And they don't do that kind of shit. And it pisses me off as a Chiefs fan. And I think its underutilization is going to hurt them, but it's going to hurt Pacheco's 1,800-yard season, which isn't going to happen. But I think that if we continue to see the Chiefs wide receiver course struggle like the way they have, I think that we are going to see Pacheco get more and more and more rushing schemes.
Yeah. So wait, yeah. Never mind. Just disregard it. No, I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna hold my tongue on that one. We're gonna find out later.
Oh, you're excited to eat that chip? Is that what you were gonna say?
Oh man, that's gonna hurt your ass when that comes out the other.
No, I feel like I should do the you know, like you've got the one chip. Actually, it's funny you want to mention about hurting my asshole. Like,
what?
No, not like that. Oh,
good to see you.
Oh, no,
and the stream is over.
I had my gallbladder removed. It had burst, and so I lost like some of my organs and stuff like that too. So like that chip is gonna be running through me. So I can't wait.
God, that's
eat it on the shitter.
Essentially, yeah, it'd be awesome. I got a live stream, you know, like I'll put my.
He's got like a gallon of milk. He's got the chip, and then he's got like toilet paper stacks behind him.
Yeah. No filter needed that week.
Oh God!
No, but I am excited, man. I think you know, it's as far out as it is, obviously, right? Like it would be fucking crazy. It would be bonkers if he ended up doing it, obviously. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so want to talk about a controversial thing. I think we're all in shock. Our eyeballs. Our knees are still hurting after seeing what happened last night to Chubb. Absolutely one of the worst knee injuries we've seen in recent history. You have not seen this injury?
Yeah, dude, his leg fell off.
I mean, internally, yeah. I mean,
pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it's as close to it's basically internal amputation from the knee down internally. Yeah. Everything torn apart.
I feel bad for the dude.
Oh, I mean, good Lord, how could you not?
Obviously it's season ending, right?
Yeah.
That's no joke. Is it career ending?
Yeah.
Okay. So before we get into that, I want to also touch on something else the NFL did yesterday. How bad of a look is this? The NFL filed a grievance against. I'm going to read this really quick here.
Oh yeah, the NFL Players Association.
Yeah, so they filed a grievance against the NFL Players Association, the NFL union leaders. I'm just going to read this really quick. The NFL has filed a grievance against the NFL Players Association alleging that union leaders, including President J.C. Tretter, have advised running backs to, quote, consider faking, or exaggerating injuries, quote unquote, to help increase their leverage in contract negotiations. The grievance was filed on September 11th and will be reviewed by an arbitrator. So on the day that this news breaks, that they've filed this grievance, that running backs have to fake injuries because they don't actually get hurt, we see one of the worst knee injuries to arguably the best running back in the league on the same fucking day. How bad of a look is that for the NFL?
It's a joke to put that out.
It's insane. It's insane. I think that this just shows running backs have the shortest careers in the NFL by position player. They should be getting paid if not the highest, some of the highest salaries, because their careers, they put their bodies on the line every single play. Nearly every time they touch that damn ball, They're putting their careers on the line, and they do not get paid enough. Their careers are so short.
At 28 years old, these guys are considered washed up and old. At 28,
it's insane.
The average career for an NFL running back is 2.57 years.
Stupid.
That's
insane.
Stupid. That's fucking ridiculous.
Insane. And what's the average for a QB? 10? 10 probably 10.
I'm sure Manning and Rodgers and all those guys shot that up.
Well, they're outliers, but I would say it's at least 7 to 8 at minimum for a QB with how they're protected. And see, that's my whole thing. Is it's like QBs are paid out the ass, and they're the most protected, babied players on the field. Meanwhile, you've got running backs that they last 2-3 years. Look at Taylor right now. They don't even want to sign him, and he's arguably one of the other best running backs in the league. He's a top 5 running back in the league, but he's running backs are a dime a dozen because they're just ball pushers that are give them the ball and hope they don't die on the next play. I mean, it's insane.
Saquon's supposed to miss multiple games too after getting hurt again.
Yeah, Saquon's out too. Yep.
Dable came out today saying he's day to day and won't commit to him being out.
Yeah,
even though everybody knows, he's not playing Thursday.
I mean, Joe Burrow's fucking day to day right now, and we know he's not playing.
Right.
Back to Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
he had the same injury in college to the
same knee,
LCL, PCL, MCL without his ACL getting torn.
Same knee.
Exact same knee, the exact same injury.
Yeah.
Except he had a full knee dislocation on a kneecap this time.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, as soon as you injure something like that, anyways, it's inherently going to be weaker for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Like it's never going to be like it was before, anyways.
Right.
And doing it twice.
Yeah.
His shoulder done.
That's why I brought up. I mean, that's why I brought up. Obviously this is season ending, but now you've hurt the same knee twice. Essentially the exact same injury and severity twice. This has the chance of being a career-ending.
Yeah, does he come back to be the same person? I don't know.
No.
If he comes back, I mean, he may come back, right? He may come back, but he's not gonna be the Nick Chubb that we know.
No, not at all.
No way. He's never gonna trust that leg again.
No, he's gonna protect that shit like crazy.
Leg 2 times. I'll never trust that knee again.
Imagine the trauma of that shit happening to you 2 fucking times.
Let alone one time.
One time.
Well, so you guys have all seen the video, right? You all seen the video of it actually.
It's
the injury, right?
It's fucking disgusting.
Have you all seen the video after, right, when he's laying on the field?
I'm looking at it right now.
So what?
While Timmy's looking at it, right? If you've not looked at it, look at it, right? This man, his teammates are trying to help him get up, right? And he knows. He knows already, and you could just see the. Obviously,
he knows it's done.
The pain in his face, but the disappointment in his face. He knows.
Yeah. If you look, the still shot I'm looking at, his leg is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an L forward. It's gone.
Up.
Yeah, but I would say I watched that same video that you're talking about now that you mention it, and you could tell he knew his knee was done. He knew his season was over, and he was just like, I can't believe this shit's happening to me again. And you could tell he was holding back tear. I mean, that's a painful fucking injury, but that's a strong motherfucker. He didn't, I know if that was me, I'd have a towel over my face. I'd be leaking, thinking about my knee, thinking about my career. But I mean, he took it the same way he did in college, and I mean, he was stoic, and you didn't see him break down on the field. But I mean, just seeing him tell the other players that were trying to help him up, like, no guys, this knee's done, But so what do you think, Rob? He's done? You think his career's over? Can't hear you, Rob.
You're muted, buddy.
Yeah, sorry. Probably. Sorry, my kids were screaming upstairs. I had to keep it quiet over here. Nobody wants to hear that. I don't, with the volatility of the position, I'm not saying he's an old running back, but he's not young. And to have the same injury on the same leg is going to be, like you guys were saying, you do it once and your knees, it's never going to be the same. You do it twice,
Yeah.
good fucking luck.
I don't see it happening.
No.
Not that severity. Maybe a couple of ACLs here and there.
It does make me want to ask, who do you think has a better shot of coming back next year? Aaron Rodgers or Nick Chubb?
Aaron Rodgers. All day.
If we're not, I have to kind of rephrase it. If we think this is not a career-ending injury, for Chubb,
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers because he's protected. I mean,
the same
just like Dylan was saying.
Quarterback.
Yeah, well, just like Dylan was saying, right? The quarterback's protected, right? Nick Chubb's going to have to just hit those holes just all over again, right? And he's going to be scared.
Well,
Aaron Rodgers is going to be protected.
Well, they're proposing a new change for the QB for next year since Aaron's coming back. They're going to put a mattress behind the QB.
They need it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a little crazy for sure to see that.
Okay. So Dylan is talking about Fitzpatrick's the hit where he went low, he went to the knees. So I don't necessarily think that is a dirty play because that is how they had to tackle Gronkowski. That is why Gronkowski was always fucking hurt. I mean, I can't remember his knee injury. I think he was out for a season with a knee injury. I can't remember what all he tore. But ACL I mean, his knee did the same thing. He had the same type of injury. It wasn't as severe, and it wasn't. I don't think there's any close-ups of it. But Gronkowski had a very similar knee injury because when you got a player that runs that hard, you don't have a lot of options to tackle them. You've got to kind of go at their lower body. So I don't necessarily think it's a dirty play. I think it's out of necessity. That's the only way to stop someone that, can squat 500 plus pounds and is just a hoss like that. You kind of have to go low.
You have to, because nowadays, they're
going to run right over you.
Well, he's going to run you over, or the ref's going to call you for targeting or for helmet to helmet, or your face mask grazes the side of the guy's helmet to helmet. There's 15 yards. You have to go low.
Yeah, because you have to hit him with your shoulder.
Yeah, he's the kind of running back. If you try and go for his chest, or he's going to run you over.
Right.
I mean,
I agree.
I think that what's unfortunate though. I don't think it was a dirty play with the result that happened. You want to say, oh, that's a dirty play, you son of a bitch. But at the same time, what caused that injury was his foot kind of got stuck under Fitzpatrick's body. I don't think Fitzpatrick intended for his foot to kind of get lodged under his body. That's what caused that injury, was his foot kind of jammed and then he came forward. The tackle, if Fitzpatrick would have just hit him and Chubb's foot didn't get caught, Chubb would have just kind of fallen over. But
and here's my 2 cents on it, right? And the thing is, right, you got to realize you're talking Nick Chubb's probably what, 250 or so, right? And Fitzpatrick's probably 280, right? I mean,
we're talking roughly about weight wise.
Yeah, just size, right? You're talking about
190 and 207.
Oh my God!
You're talking about some pretty big guys, right?
But they're muscle. That's 200 pounds of muscle.
And you're full speed running at each other. The shit happens so fast, right? Like the slow motion doesn't know justice, right? Like in real speed, everything happens so fast that he probably didn't try to do anything malicious or try to hurt the man, but just everything happens. They didn't
even see the injury at first. No one saw the injury until they did the slow-mo. That's when you saw what actually happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And did you hear that entire stadium gasp at the same time?
Yeah.
I actually missed that.
Okay, did Minkah Fitzpatrick also get hurt on that play?
Yeah, he went to the hospital. He got released from the hospital.
What happened with him?
Yeah, I didn't.
Chest injury.
I bet he may have broke a rib or some shit. Oh, it was a wrist injury?
I think it was his wrist.
No, it says chest.
Chest.
Chest injury. X-rays were negative. Doctor said he avoids severe injury.
Okay, so he probably thought he had a broken rib or something like that.
Well, there you go then, right? I mean, if I'm gonna tackle Dylan, right, and I'm gonna try to hurt him, the goal is for me not to get hurt, right?
Yeah.
So I mean that should debunk that anyways, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional. Obviously, no, I don't think it was dirty.
And the thing is too, like if you're trying to hurt somebody, right, you're not trying to kill him. You're not trying to take him out for the. I mean, the way that the injury was, right? I feel like we talked about before. The knee was already weakened, that leg was already weak, right? And it just a freak accident, like the same thing with Damar Hamlin, right? Just a freak accident, just the way that the game played that exact second, it just happened, right? And I'm sure Fitzpatrick is still feeling bad about it. I'm sure that he's reached out.
Probably.
And I'm sure
100%.
Chubb, because just like Rob was talking about, what is it, 2.5 years, 2.7 years is the average, expectancy. They know that. All those players know their expectancy in the NFL. So, Fitzpatrick doing that to Chubb, like, he feels horrible about it.
Yeah. Right.
Absolutely. I would call it a dirty hit if it was an open field, blatantly.
Yeah.
For his name.
Yes, I agree. If it was like a quarterback or
that's how they had to talk. That's how they had to tackle Gronkowski.
Oh, yeah.
The injury. Yeah. I mean,
like a cement truck. As fuck, but it'll run you down.
Yeah, but just huge motherfucker. Yeah. So yeah. I think that we can move on to our dad stuff. Enough football. So our
Todd said definitely not the same kind of freak accident as Hamlin. Yeah,
sure,
Hamlin one in a
no, yeah, that's
to get your heart at that exact moment.
Yeah, commotio cordis, which is what that injury is super rare. It mostly happens in high schools, and I think that what should have it happens a lot in baseball with line drives right to the chest. If your heart's beating in that certain beat hits right in the chest, and your heart just stops it because it's an electrical pulsing muscle, so that's a super, super rare thing. I bet it's like a 1 in like 50,000 sports injury or something insane, 1 in 100,000. Yeah, it does happen a few times a year but it's almost always in high school. It's rarer to happen in football. It mostly happens in baseball with line drives to the chest. And I really think that if the NFL wanted to honor Damar Hamlin, what they should have done was fork out money for every single high school in the country, from the smallest fucking rural little dinky ass high school in the Boot Hill, Missouri, to the biggest high schools in the country. For them all, they should have bought the AED machines that shock the heart, because that is the only way to save someone's life when that happens, is to shock their heart and get their heartbeat back to normal. And they didn't do that. That was what actually pissed me off about that entire situation. Was if they wanted to honor Damar Hamlin, they could have said, we're going to buy one of these machines, because a lot of schools can't afford those. And the only thing that saved his life was they shocked him on the field with one of those AED machines. And there's tons of high schools, they don't have it.
It's not even the machine, right? It's not even just the machine. It's also the money that it takes to actually go and get all the training done too.
Yeah,
like,
money.
Certified.
Well, you don't even really need to be certified, actually. Those machines, they're expensive as hell. That's why a lot of schools and stuff don't have them. I think the cheapest that you can get one is like around $3,000 or $4,000. I've actually considered buying one for my home, just to have one. If a neighbor's having a fucking heart attack or something like that, and they're idiot proof. I've Googled this before. And just so everyone knows, PSA, and you guys too, if you're ever somewhere and someone's having a heart attack or anything like that, or a potential cardiac event, those machines are so smart. They've got a built-in EKG inside of them. And if you put them on someone who is not actually having a heart attack, they don't work. You can put it on the person and click the button. It won't do anything, because it has a built-in EKG inside of the software, and it can tell that they're not actually having a heart attack. It'll only work if they're actually having a cardiac event. So it's idiot proof. A fucking 4-year-old could put it on somebody, and if they're actually having a heart attack, it will. Yeah, it's one button. It's idiot proof. It's got a built-in EKG. So just for future reference, anyone out there, if you ever see someone having a cardiac event, don't be scared to grab that thing and put it on them and try to save their life, because it's.
However,
Yeah.
We're not giving medical.
Yeah, we're not giving medical advice, but at the same time,
yeah.
You know,
yeah, we are not responsible for anything.
Yeah. But
if we are, just go ahead and go for Robert.
Yeah, but you could be that guy. You could be that guy. Okay, so dad topic.
Wait a minute. We gotta talk about Tyreek Hill.
Oh fuck, we forgot about Tyreek Hill. Okay, last but not least, Tyreek Hill.
I got your back, Robert.
We'll make it snappy.
Not forget about
There's nothing to talk about this week.
Yeah,
exactly.
he's a
why
bum.
I wanted to bring it up because there is something to talk about.
Rob,
you talked about him having such a great first week, and you talked about it.
So we're doing Hill's 2,300 yard season. How's that going?
Well, last week was great. I'm gonna hope that he's gonna rebound next week.
How many
40
yards
is not very good. 40, especially for Tyreek Hill. Like, damn. But we know that's what Bill Belichick does. He likes to take out a team's number one option.
Yeah,
and
he does
once
it
again
amazingly.
He did what he was gonna do, and he took Tyreek pretty much out of the game. 40 yards, no touchdowns. They played Denver at home for week 3, so
he's gonna rack him up.
Here comes another 200-yard game. I'm gonna be okay with that. What did I see?
He'll make up for it in week 3.
He'll absolutely make up for it.
He's going up against PS2 though, so good luck. He'll shut you down.
Yeah. I had their schedule pulled up and was gonna be all ready for this.
What do you need? Dolphin schedule?
Yeah, the Dolphin schedule.
Denver next week, then Buffalo, then the Giants.
Thank you.
Next 2 weeks are not that easy.
Yeah. Let's say these next 2 weeks are gonna be a little rough.
A little bit.
Yeah, but that'll kind of show us though how power rankings with the AFC whenever the Bills play Miami. I mean that's gonna we're gonna get to see, like, those are both supposed to be top tier offenses, both supposed to have pretty decent defenses, and they're gonna be in the running, in the playoffs potentially. So,
and that's where I'm hoping it'll help me out too, especially with next couple weeks coming up in Buffalo. I'm hoping it ends up being a shootout, and more or less he has to go for a 200-yard game. I need it.
Yeah.
At least I'm not doing no one chip challenge. I gotta say.
Yeah, wait a minute. Can we add Dylan into the one chip challenge?
For what the fuck would I have to eat a chip for?
My bad. I'm sorry. I messed up. I was looking at you. I was looking at you because I was asking you a question. I meant to say Rob. Can we add Robert into the one chip challenge?
Does Robert want to be included in the one chip challenge? I mean, I think
him and I both called.
I think it's fair.
I think it's only fair.
Yeah. You have to instead of eating it though with your mouth, you shove it up your ass in an enema.
No, that's not that bad.
What?
It's not gonna hurt the same, I guess.
Oh Lord!
Oh, that's some funny shit.
You guys just had this new this NFL Fantasy Dads podcast, right? How long did it last? 2 episodes. We got shut down.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh, we were talking about taking a one chip challenge up the ass.
Yeah, in an enema.
That sounds shitty.
That does. That sounds very painful.
Very bad.
I gotta roll here in a minute, so let's
okay. So we're gonna get to our dad stuff. The question for this week: what is your favorite hobby that is the easiest for family to get involved in? What's the startup cost to get involved in this hobby? And what's the best way for a beginner to get involved in the hobby? You can start, Timmy, since you gotta go.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna do. I mean, my big hobby is tournament bass fishing. Obviously, that's not cheap, and that's not something for the family to get into off the jump. So I would just say fishing. I mean, fishing is easy to get into. You can go down to your local Walmart. $30, you're set. Kids love it. A lot of places kids can fish for free. Something I can't wait to take my daughters to. They're still. One of them isn't even born yet, and the other one's 6 months old. So she ain't ready yet.
All right.
But, that's my thing, fishing. Just get out with the family and go to the lake, go into a local pond, river, something. But yeah, that's my hobby that I think, easy to get into.
Well, I think I'm gonna go next because I also have to get off here. I have dad duties to go and attend to.
Me too.
If Timmy is done.
Yeah, I'm done, boys. I gotta roll. I gotta go help the wife and the daughter. So I'll see you guys later.
Take it easy. Have a good one, Timmy. Have a good night.
Next week.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll say for me, my biggest hobby that I can do is I love to fly models. So like model aircraft, helicopters, airplanes, anything that you could put a model engine in, I love to do. So it's really cool to be able to, I've got extra controllers and stuff like that, give it to the kids and let them think that they're playing or flying around or something like that, and they absolutely just adore it. They love it. They giggle about it, especially when you're flying over their heads and stuff like that. They can feel the wind or the prop wash and that kind of stuff. They can feel that wind. Startup costs for sure would be that about $150 if you really want to get into it. $150 is a good way to get into it. You can actually enjoy yourself and stuff like that.
Where do you even fly things like that though?
Like
a park or
I fly inside the house all the way up into large fields.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
But yeah, anyways, guys, I've got to get off of here. Awesome week. Good luck for everybody this week, and we will see you later.
Take it easy, Joel.
Yeah, take it easy, bro. Have a good one.
Yep, see you guys.
What about you, man? What's your
more sporty than hobbies, but bowling and golf.
Bowling's a good one.
Yeah.
That almost has to be a family thing.
For the most part.
I mean, getting competitive, maybe not so much, but
even that, like I don't know anybody, but up until a couple years ago, they still did youth leagues and everything like that. So it'd bowl at any age, but it's fairly cheap around out here to go bowl. And it's a lot of fun. Like I told you guys, they just installed new machines here and made it more, I guess, user friendly and a little more interactive for the people that are bowling, which I think will benefit kids and bring a little more interest into it for the younger people as it is. But we'll see.
So how do you get your kids to like bowling? Because I know when I was younger, like I fucking hated it. Like every time I had to go, I just I hated it. I thought
I feel like I have a cheat code with that because family owns the bowling alley here. So we can go bowl and they're gonna be allowed to fuck around on the pool tables and they go running in and out of the bar and whatnot and bullshit with people, and it's it ends up being more than just bowling for us because we see so many people that we know, maybe go bowl a game, but then we end up spending a couple more hours just
hanging out
and letting the kids bowl. Golf is a little harder. We just got my wife a set of golf clubs this year.
It's not cheap.
No, it's probably the more expensive. It's a pretty expensive hobby.
That's why it's a rich man sport. That's why I don't play it. I'm too fucking cheap for that shit.
Dude, and it around here, it's outrageous.
It's everywhere, bro.
It's outrageous everywhere. I get that. I wish when I lived in Phoenix, I wish I would have played more down there in the summertime when it was $20 for 18 holes,
Yeah.
You just have to go out at 4:00 in the morning before the sun rises, or else it's too fucking hot.
Yeah. Does it ever? It gets cool there at night because it's like a desert, right?
Dude, so.
But cool. I'm talking like 80 or 75.
Except for the summer months.
Yeah.
Ask Timmy about it next week. Like he'll probably. I love the heat. Being born and raised here in Cody. The older I get, the more I hate the snow.
Yeah.
And we fucking we get an ass load of snow. So I love the heat, but it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's your hobby? What
so
do you do?
yeah, so my hobby, and I've got a few, but this is definitely the one that like I've got like my family involved in is like car shows and things like that. So we've got two show cars. We've got a 99 Trans Am and an 89 Corvette. But you don't necessarily need to have a show car to get involved in like going to car shows and things like that. Like, I mean, it's literally, you know, for pedestrian or for spectators, it's free most of the time. So like, I think even if I didn't have one of the cars that's in the show, like there are definitely car shows I go to where I don't have a car entered. I just go with my daughter and with my wife, and we go there and we check out old cool cars and, you know, talk to car owners and stuff like that. So I think that's a hobby that I fit, or like it's not really a hobby, but well, yeah, I guess it's kind of a hobby that you can easily get your family involved in, and you know, it's cheap. It's literally free. You know, besides driving to these events and stuff. And the cool thing is, there's like car clubs everywhere. So like, there's car clubs you don't even really need to have like a super nice car or anything like that. Like that, there's a lot of car clubs. You can look it up on Facebook and find car clubs in pretty much anywhere that you live. That will, you know, let you in, and you can be involved in a car community locally. So yeah, mine's definitely like car shows and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like seeing old cars, or just
dude,
badass cars in general? Right.
Facts, bro. Facts. I'm a GM person all the way. So like all of our cars are GM except for my Chrysler 300. But and I absolutely love the Chrysler 300, but you know, I'm strictly GM only. Typically, I don't like Ford. I don't like, you know, pretty much anything else. I hate foreign cars.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought this was an awesome episode. I think that we went a little bit over an hour and 12 minutes, but we didn't start on time anyway. But next week, if I start to go on without talking about Tyreek Hill, you need to say, "Hey, motherfucker, I need to talk about Tyreek." Yeah, hey, you're skipping me. I need to talk about Tyreek Hill. It's okay, speak up. Okay, well, anyway, thank you all for tuning in. This is week 2 of 2023 season. We will see you all next week around 7:45 p.m. on Tuesday. And yeah, we'll see you next week. And thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Take it easy, Robert.
Yeah, you too, Dylan.
Yeah.
Bye.